Ladies and gentlemen, there is a moment in every life, an invisible line drawn across time where everything changes. A moment where you choose not just differently, but deliberately. Where you stop following the path you're on and start creating the one you were meant to walk. That moment is a decision. A single, powerful, life-altering decision. Let that truth settle deep into your soul. You are one decision away from a new life. One choice can change your story. One step can shift your future. One moment of courage can unlock a destiny you've only dared to dream about. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need to know every step. You don't need permission. You only need to decide. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase." That's what transformation looks like. It doesn't arrive in the form of certainty. It arrives cloaked in faith, action, and courage. Look around you. Everything you see was once a decision. Every skyscraper started as a decision to build. Every successful business started as a decision to begin. Every revolution, every movement, every invention, every transformation started when someone said, "I will not live like this anymore." J.K. Rowling decided to keep writing, even while struggling as a single mother living on welfare. Oprah Winfrey decided her past wouldn't define her, even after enduring a childhood of abuse. Elon Musk decided to risk everything again and again because he refused to accept mediocrity as his ceiling. And they are not anomalies. They are examples. Their lives are not untouchable. They are proof of what's possible when you decide. The difference between a life of regret and a life of fulfillment is often one bold decision. Why don't most people make that decision? Because decisions require risk. They demand responsibility. They cost comfort. And most people are addicted to comfort. People stay in toxic relationships not because they're happy, but because they're familiar. They stay in dead-end jobs not because they're passionate, but because they're afraid. They cling to excuses, to blame, to fear, because those are easier to carry than courage. But let me remind you, comfort is a slow death. Each day you don't decide to change is a day you decide to remain the same. There is no neutral. Life is constantly moving. Either you are choosing your future, or your past is choosing it for you. As author Nora Roberts said, "If you don't go after what you want, you'll never have it. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. If you don't step forward, you're always in the same place." It's not your circumstances that are stopping you. It's your indecision. The moment of power is now. Your entire life can pivot on the decision you make today. You don't have to wait until next week. You don't have to wait until you feel ready. You don't have to wait until the stars align. Readiness is a myth. Progress doesn't require readiness, it requires movement. Make the decision. Make the decision to forgive even if they don't deserve it. Make the decision to walk away even if it's terrifying. Make the decision to begin even if you don't know how it ends. Make the decision to believe in yourself even if no one else does. Make the decision to rebuild even if you're standing in rubble. Your future doesn't begin tomorrow. It begins the moment you choose it. Transformation is not a miracle. It's a decision followed by discipline. You won't wake up one day with a perfect body, a perfect bank account, a perfect relationship, a perfect purpose. You will decide to become fit. You will decide to build wealth. You will decide to love better. You will decide to pursue purpose, and then you'll back that decision with consistent action. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, said, "Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Every day, you are either casting votes for your old life or your new one, and the ballot is in your hands. But what if you fail? You will. That's the truth. There will be days when you stumble. Days when the decision seems too heavy. Days when you want to go back. But the power lies not in perfection, it lies in persistence. Failing doesn't make you a failure. Quitting does. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper job because he lacked imagination. Steven Spielberg was rejected from film school multiple times. Colonel Sanders was told no over 1,000 times before anyone said yes to Kentucky Fried Chicken. They all made a decision to keep going. You don't need guarantees. You need grit. Decide to become who you were meant to be. You were not born to be ordinary. You were not born to live out someone else's expectations. You were not born to be a shadow of your potential. There is greatness inside you, not because it was given, but because it is waiting to be claimed. You must decide to claim it. Decide to become the kind of person who doesn't need applause to keep going. Decide to become the kind of person who doesn't wait to be saved. Decide to become the kind of person who makes a habit of doing hard things. Decide to become the kind of person who lives intentionally, purposefully, passionately. Every breakthrough in your life begins the moment you stop waiting and start choosing. Let's talk about the cost of not deciding. You might survive. You might even look successful on the surface. But deep down, you'll feel the ache of unlived potential. You'll wake up with 1,000 what-ifs. You'll walk through life in grayscale, knowing color was available but never chosen. And years from now, the pain of regret will weigh heavier than the fear of risk ever did. Bronnie Ware, a palliative care nurse, wrote about the top regrets of the dying. The number one regret was this: I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. Let that sink in. This is your life. You don't get a second one. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is not a beta version. This is not practice mode. This is your one and only precious existence. Don't waste it wandering in indecision. Make the call. Start the business. End the addiction. Leave the relationship. Join the program. Write the book. Take the class. Move to the city. Say the words. Do the thing. Your new life is waiting on the other side of one bold, courageous, unstoppable decision. Let me tell you what happens when you decide. The universe begins to move. Doors open. People show up. Your energy changes. Your confidence builds. Your clarity sharpens. You start walking taller. You start speaking louder. You start living bigger. Why? Because you've taken back your power. Indecision is powerless. Decision is potent. Indecision leaves you drifting. Decision puts wind in your sails. Indecision breeds anxiety. Decision creates direction. As Tony Robbins once said, it is in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. Decide and everything begins to shift. Will it be easy? No. Will it be worth it? Absolutely. You will cry. You will sweat. You will hurt. You will doubt. But you will also rise. You will discover strength you never knew you had. You will meet parts of yourself that only adversity could introduce to you. And one day you will look back and say, that was the moment everything changed. Because it was. Because you decided. So I ask you one final question. What decision are you avoiding right now that could lead you to the life you're meant to live? Decide to make that call. Decide to start that change. Decide to reclaim your future. Decide to stop surviving and start living. Because whether it's freedom, healing, love, greatness, or legacy you seek, it's all waiting on the other side of a single choice. You are one decision away from a new life. Let today be that day. Let now be that moment. Let this be the chapter where your story turns. The power is yours. The time is now. Decide.